Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Darksage Walker, and there was something major that happened over the last week that slowed down my upload schedule. No, it's not just procrastination. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time getting into the nitty-gritty of it. It's not necessarily my story to tell. But my BFF's grandmother passed away just this past week, and I wanted to make sure that I was supportive of him. Wanted to go to the funeral and take care of all of that good business, just to make sure, basically just to do my part to be supportive. And that is what was going on. It was just that. But honestly, that is more than enough. So hopefully you all understand why I haven't been making a huge number of uploads. And, if you guys would be so kind, put an F in the comments or in my Discord chat for my buddy's grandmother. I think both he and his grandmother deserve at the very least that. So, on to the show, and I think today we are doing Spark Array. So here's the thing about Spark Array. This is easily one of my favorite spells in the entire game. I'm not the biggest fan of the signature cast, but it's also worth pointing out that the signature cast is not there to do huge damage. The signature cast is there to just enable tons and tons of sparks and to make sure that nothing survives being stun-locked to death. Because after it gets stun-locked to death, you're going to come in with some heavy hitter or another and make them regret the day that they ever decided to be summoned into the trials. So, that having been said, this spell is not about damage. This spell is about control, and it will offer you lots and lots of control. Make no doubt about that. This spell will get shit done. There is just one caveat to that, though. It heavily relies on the shock status effect, and there are two spots where shock doesn't work. In the Sky Palace, well, no, not the Sky Palace, the lightning area. I, for some reason, can't remember what it's called. Thundering Keep, there we go. I remembered it just in time to embarrass myself. So it doesn't work super well there, and it doesn't work against Sura. At least not the shock part. The big spark that just comes in and just hammers in damage, that works just fine. And we will be using that. Now, because of how well this stuns and staggers, it's actually probably best to go in with something that's a little bit slower on the uptake. Just because you'll have pretty much all the time in the world to land your attack. And some of the best choices would be things like the drill, the strike, the hammer, the other hammer. Charge spells are a particularly good choice just because you'll be able to get them off without too many problems. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to... we could reuse Furious Tempest, but for variety's sake, I think we're going with Violent Thornstorm. Then on defense, I want to play Thunderline. Here, I think I want... There we go. There we go, that's looking good. So let's go ahead and put on our Rule Robe. Actually, I could try Venture this time around because I'm pretty confident with this build. But I'm gonna play it safe because I know me, and I know as soon as that hubris starts to set in, I will be playing like trash. Then I think we're going to go with a damage relic. And I think what we do is I'm going to try a merchant's cart run with this. And before we forget, that is piano. All right, let's go get the piano songs going. While we farm up the retro floor plan, I want to say I hope you're all doing fantastically for yourselves. Hopefully you've not had to go to the funeral of a family member. That really pretty much set the mood for just the past week. And I'm sure, as you can guess, the mood was not exactly a positive one. Though admittedly, it could have been a lot worse. One thing I do want to commend my best buddy for, though, is that he's been a pretty strong trooper throughout this all. He has been actually handling things a lot better than I thought he would be. And I say good for him. It's good that he's been able to essentially keep his calm even while all of this has been going on. Though I will say that his work has been vastly mistreating him. And again, that's not my story to tell. I would rather he talk about that, but let's just say that his job has not been very respectful of his request for time off in order to attend the funeral and have some time to grieve. And I can't tell you how much that upsets me. It's like, we all know how bad the American workforce is. Like, that isn't even in debate at this point. It's just sad that it gets to the point where they don't even want to respect your desire for time off, no matter what the reason is. And it's just, fucks me right off, I tell you. Alright, well, Retro Floor Plan is taking a bit to spawn. Darksage, you should just edit this part out. See, part of the reason why I don't edit this out is because, one, the importing and exporting of that video file just takes longer than I care for it to. And it's something I'm willing to go through for my bigger videos, but for just my gameplay videos, I just don't think it's necessarily worth it. Secondly, when I play the game, I want you guys to kind of understand the mindset that I go through while I'm playing. Alright, so you've all seen me use Spark Array before. You know how this works. The whole point of it is to buy you plenty of room to breathe. And this is the entire reason why I wanted to do Thundering Keep first, because electric enemies don't get shocked. So I wanted to come here first because this is where the Spark Array will be the least effective. Then the thing that I really like about the signature cast is that hitting enemies directly with the giant electrical spark that you throw out does do enhanced damage. And it does multiple ticks of damage just during... It's not necessarily every frame, but every few frames while the enemies and that spark are overlapping, they're taking extra damage. And even more so, when the sparks... Because it's the enhanced version of Spark Array, of course. Sorry, and I want to clear this room out before I continue. Yeah, it's the enhanced version of Spark Array, so... Array with an R, not with a W. Come on, let's not numberfud all of our words here. So, when the sparks dissipate, they end up sending essentially a chain of lightning back to your character. So it just creates this continual, ever-present, like, field of lightning, essentially. And I love it. I love it to death. And, of course, those sparks also create... See, this is Storm Draft. I don't know how I feel about Storm Draft. What are we going up against? Partially effective, partially not. I don't know. But yeah, those chains of lightning that roll back to your character when the sparks go away, those also shock enemies. So it's just this perfect storm of constantly keeping enemies under hit stun. Alright, we will definitely upgrade our robe. There's not a whole lot I even want to spend money on this floor. Whatever, give me that. There we go. I would really like to get the Violent Thornstorm upgrade so it doesn't take as long to charge. Alright, oh, there's the upgrade. That is important enough that... You know what? No, I should wait. Even though I want it now, I should wait just in case I can donate it to somebody and get an extra effect out of it. Okay, that was... Okay, everything that can go wrong with this room is going wrong, and I hate it. So what I was trying to do there that ended up backfiring in my face super spectacularly is I was trying to cancel out some of the enemy projectiles with my Spark Array because it has that piercing trample effect. But I mistimed my chance and that whole thing just ended up blowing up in my face. Catalytic tonic. Come on, Doctor, you can give me something better than that, can't you? And obviously the answer is no, but whatever, at least I tried. I got some health back, that's the important part. Yes, that's another thing I should mention, is that your wall of sparks can actually... I'm gonna grab that just because I will be destroying enemy projectiles. But yes, your wall of sparks actually more or less tramples over enemy projectiles. Why do I see so many fairies down here? Was there a birthday present that I missed? Well, it doesn't matter, because we can now assemble the Fairy Force 5, and now if we fail this run, it's entirely just because we suck, because we've got all the Sylvan help in the world. Ladies, onwards to victory! See what I mean about how that works? It's beautiful, isn't it? Alright, and after these two, then we can start using Spark Array to its maximum effect. Alright, a little bit of a lack of practice is showing here. I'm kind of getting kicked around a little bit because I'm trying to be too aggressive. Hey. You know, I'm not going to complain too much. It's just another way to control the enemies. Okay, do I like anything here? Sort of. Getting a water prison upgraded wouldn't be the worst thing, even if I'm not necessarily planning on holding on to that for too long. Alright, anything good here? I mean, Greased Boots is pretty good. I'll grab the Special Snowflake, why not? Okay, that was a lot at once. Alright, Bladed Buckler is definitely the right choice for this. You get so much signature charge just by sending your Spark Array, apparently I have trouble pronouncing R's today, just through a wall of enemy projectiles and just getting yourself a ton of signature charge that way. No, I don't want that. Just not a big fan of the Seekers. I think this seems like a good time to point out the idea that I know everyone's got a slightly different idea of what makes a good Arcana in their opinion. So first of all, I want to say I appreciate you guys tuning in to see what my opinion on the matter is. But second of all, I also know very specifically that everyone's got a very different idea of what they want from their signature Arcana. So I try to address that as much as possible while going over my ideas. I will say that without... I am going to grab this. I think... there will be a time to use it. Like, without any shred of irony, Spark Array is just one of my favorite overall spells in the games. Like, standard, signature... like, it doesn't really matter, I just really like what this spell does. So, the idea that these sparks move really slowly, and that they don't do a lot of damage, I can't force myself to call that a bad thing, because frankly it's not. Yeah, grab that. Like, honestly, I think the spell would be a bit of a waste if the sparks moved much faster than that. Like, just because that's kind of the whole charm of the spell, is that they do move really slowly to just create this wall of control in front of yourself. And even though the damage on each individual spark isn't great, it's the idea that they continue to do damage via the shock status effect, and the chain lightnings that come back from them. And then all the trampling damage from the sword. Not swords. I said sword because I see a sword up there that I want. Alright, we're gonna get rid of that because we are taking this. Like, part of what makes this spell so good is that it's... Okay, hold on. No, we don't get rid of that. And Electrifying Smock, I will definitely take that over that. Like, part of what makes this spell so good is that it has such long-lasting hitboxes. Like, it's a spell that just sits there and lingers and dares your opponent to try and do something about you. Now, I don't know if it's anywhere near as effective in PvP, but none of my rankings are taking PvP into account, so... that's just kind of where that ends. Now, I say that, but there's still a part of me that's interested in the PvP aspect of this game. I want to make sure I give a shout out to the Wizard of Legend League on I follow their stuff on Discord, and I think it's really interesting that there's an entire community of people that are so interested in this game's PvP. So shoutouts to you guys. You are taking an aspect of this game that many people would just take as a throwaway aspect, and you're really making something out of it, and I think that's really cool. Even if it's not necessarily my thing, I can definitely appreciate it. Then keep in mind what I just said, is that I am still in some way interested in it. Oh, that didn't work out as well as I would have liked. Vortex Veil isn't good for this build. Alright, beautiful. Oh, Spark Array, you are so good. Like, it's just orderly enough that you know exactly what it's gonna do when you throw it out, but it's just chaotic enough that it just completely throws any of your enemy's plans, like, right out the window. Like, to me, this is an S-tier spell just because it makes everything else in your build more viable. Like, it literally makes every other spell better just by existing. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Like, it slots into literally any other build just by virtue of being something that enables everything else. I mean literally everything else. Like, you can use it as cover to run in with a big, heavy melee hit. You can use it as a beautiful little wall of stun lock and pain to charge up spells behind. Did you miss hitting that particular enemy with that final attack that was going to kill them? Well, don't worry about it, because it's gonna send that lightning back to you and finish them off for you. It's just so good. Alright, did I miss another combat room? Or no, this is the boss room. Alright. Nice. That's probably going to be my thumbnail shot right there. Alright, so we got a freebie. Let me see, what do I want to hold on to here? I don't want to spend too much money on things. But we're going to hold on to that. Them. And then we're going to pick up that. And that. Okay, yeah, I don't have enough money for anything else if I want to hold on to. Yeah, if I want to hold on to anything else. But we are going to grab this. And we have a very strong build here. And just by virtue of the bladed buckler, it's just making things even more ridiculous. Beautiful. Really wish I could have found the Hunter's Stiletto, but oh well. Okay, I would have laughed if I had walked into the room and he was just like, "Here, I have Hunter's Stiletto for you. Yes, you want it, right?" Okay, between the combination of this spell, and this relic, and just the overall strength of the build, we are just in heaven right now. Do I even care to see what else is on this floor? I don't care. I'm just gonna move on. Hammer time! Oh man! Hold on, no, that's the thumbnail shot. There's Dragon Circuit, another great signature. If you haven't watched my episode on Dragon Signature, you should maybe go do that. Because that was a really fun episode. Alright, anything good here that's nice and last minute that I want? No. No, we're just gonna move on. Although apparently the game really wants me to use Water Prison. Like, a lot. But I'm not going to. No offense to Water Prison, I'm just really happy with Radiant Knockout right now. God damn! Oh, that didn't work out well. And there we go. See, it really helps when you don't miss your drop. You don't miss your drop. Perfect. I know my... No, it really helps when you don't drop your combo. That's what I was trying to say, and then my brain just shat on itself. You know what didn't shat on itself, though? What do you mean shit on itself? Spark Array. Spark Array carries its weight so goddamn hard. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. And again, I'm just happy that we're past the really garbage Lightning Elemental Arcana and to the ones that not only pull their weight, but really show you just how special they can be. So, I swear, if you've been sleeping on Spark Array, you've just plain been sleeping. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This spell is magnificent. And again, it's not because of its damage, it's because of the unparalleled amount of control that it gives you over the battlefield. Like, on offense, it has a nice wide range, it shocks enemies, it keeps them stun-locked forever. It's just so good. And then on defense, it plows through enemy projectiles, it doesn't allow them to move. So unless you're Sura or a lightning-based enemy, this spell pretty much seals your fate. It's just, I'm gushing at this point. You guys get the idea. This spell is really, really good, and you need to try it out, preferably with the Bladed Buckler, because this spell just eats enemy projectiles for breakfast. Oh, it's so good. So good. So, that's the run. You guys have any comments you want to make? Anything you want to say? Remember, leave an F in the comments or in my Discord for my buddy's grandmother. I would really appreciate that, and so would he. I, of course, want to thank you for coming out and spending some of your free time here with me today. I really do appreciate it. The birds would, of course, like to say their piece. Oh, now you're quiet. Thanks. Perfect. Perfect timing, guys. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.